Welcome, race fans, back to SVR. My name is Webbo. I'm here to join you for the season as ever, and great to be back here for season 3. We're here for the final round of the first races at SVR. This is for the G2 round 1 at Interlagos. This is how our grid is shaping up for the permanent places on the season. There will be some minor changes in between, but this is how things are looking at the moment. It's B-Bar and Rhino for Hector Motorsports, followed by Oro Racing's Ian and lyly. Obsidian Racing are fielding Zenith and Grant Me Peace. And we have for Zelen Racing, Monkey with Lord Top Hat, our Antipodean pairing there, who obviously have their time zones very compatible. It's Brum and Black Evo who will be driving for Morado this season. Azul are fielding Pingslayer and Daddy Banana. And then we've got for the Argento Racing team in the Peugeot RCZs, Joe Albert and Sock as the permanent drivers for the season. We're ready to get underway. Your drivers are on the grid for 31 laps around this famous Brazilian race track. And we will get you underway for that coverage very shortly. This is how qualifying shaped up. Zenith was the rearmost driver of the 14 fielding here. Nice detail there on the windshield sunscreen. You've got the G2 and the Obsidian Racing team listed there on the BMW M6 GT3. Pingslayer is in 13th place here for the for Team Azul in their navy blue matte colour scheme with a greeny blue colour shift pattern across it. Another largely green car at the moment is the Zelen Racing car, which are affiliated with Brocarga in the McLaren. So Zelen, Monkey Games and Lord Top Hat starting on the penultimate row of the grid out there on row 6. On row 5 we have B-Bar in the gorgeous Hector Motorsport Porsche 911, but also Grant ready to get underway. Don't forget, this is a rolling start for the GT3 cars this season. Grant will start on P9. Oscar for Azul Racing will be in P8, and Brum stuck his Ferrari 296 on P7 in the fabulously colourful Team Morado colour scheme. We've got Black Evo right there as well. In the 296 for Morado in P6, and then Mo is in the Argento in P5. I think this is a reserve seat unless he's changed his name. Anyway, it's lyly for Team Oro in the Tortoro toothed Porsche here. And we have lyly in P4. Great qualifying performance from lyly. We have Rhino then on that second row of the grid for Team Hector, and Sock sticking the well-favoured and very quick Peugeot RCZ on P2. But the pole position is held by Ian, making his league racing debut with us here at SVR, and he sticks it on pole in the Tortoro Team Oro Porsche. So those are our runners and riders. A quick preview of everybody's liveries, and we will get you underway for this next round of the championship. This first round of the championship, I should say. I'm just trying to get my my cursor to actually function properly. But a rolling start for 31 laps around this circuit. Refueling is available to the drivers. They must change tyre compound. Here we go then, as the drivers are in good formation then for the start of the race. We see fewer accidents as a result, and it's drop the clutch, and it's go to start this new G2 season off. Ian in the pole position ahead of Sock and Rhino, two veterans of SVR racing, as we head on into Curve 1, and it looks to be Brum and Oscar with a fairly good start there. and challenging each other. Oscar just over the apex of the Estor Senna might pick up a penalty on his route through. There it is, confirmed for Oscar. That'll be paid on the next time around the start-finish straight. Grant, B-Bar, Lord Top Hat, Monkey Games, Zenith and Pingslayer all away from the grid very safely. I think Pingslayer may be having a problem there, and certainly we've got, let's go back and see Pingslayer's start, because this looked like we might have had some problems. What happened out here for Pingslayer? Is it a simple outbraking maneuver? Well, it's far from simple. Great overtake there from Zenith Specs with the great run around the outside and just compromising Pingslayer slightly on the way back through. Here is Ian then leading the field into Decido del Lago, and followed by Sock, Rhino and lyly. It is a fairly calm start, obviously, having the rolling start, but it is a hell of a lot safer than we have seen. It looks like lyly challenging in towards our Ferradora Laranjinia double right-hander, and that has put Rhino out on the marbles. Rhino missing out there on the racing line, thanks to the positioning of lyly, as we see him here. As they head down in towards lyly, definitely claim the apex. Rhino trying to hold on around the outside on those cold tyres, unfortunately, and slipping back 1, 2, 3, 4 possibly places on the way through. Both Murado Ferraris on their way back past Rhino, who's deposed all the way down to P7 from a provisional podium position with that slight miscalculation on the brakes on the outside, and he's being pounced on by Grant, who goes down the inside, but Grant of course will take that penalty, so taking the opportunity to get ahead. Rhino at 6s and 7s trying to get that car rebalanced, but those cold tyres, he is on mediums, they should be up to temperature pretty soon. Watch for Oscar to drop suddenly back under the chevrons as his car loses all power for a full second, and there he is. This will compound all the way to the line as we've got B-Bar fighting on the way through. The car ghosts and then re-solidifies on the way back down to the corners. Lord Top Hat through, B-Bar through as well, and those two fighting hard into the next corner. It's still Rhino, Rhino, that is in fact B-Bar, who was struggling to hold on to the position there, gained from Oscar. Lord Top Hat and Monkey Games in the Zelen racing cars are still right in the mix. Everybody's still very much condensed with the pack here, which is great to see after the first lap and a half. But as they come through, Ian, Sock, lyly, your top three. Mo in 4th position now in that Argento car. There is lyly still looking threatening, still looking for an opportunity to get his way past the Argento of Sock directly in front. Ian at the moment getting away very nicely and starting to creep away from the rest of the podium. Here we come through the next right-hander of Pico di Pato into Mergulio. Depending on the car, that is either a flat out or a slight lift or short shift. That's a very unusual place to go for the move there from lyly, who is trying to get on the loud pedal. Sock giving up the inside line into the apex, but holding firm on the outside line where all the traction is, and very smartly away there. So lyly not able to get the job done at this point, but maybe he'll be in striking distance into Curva 1, not quite, as the field come through. The two Murados together. Rhino down in 7th with Grant, followed by Oscar, B-Bar, Lord Top Hat, Zenith and Pingslayer bringing up the rear at the moment. But Ian is drifting away and walking away from these cars. It's now a 3-way battle for 2nd position on the track. The RCZs are ganging up here, but lyly is going for the move down the inside. lyly holds on, and it looks like Sock running out of grip. They both braked at very similar points there on the corner, and in the end it worked the way of lyly. Let's have a look from the rear of the car. You can see Sock tries to turn in, but the front axle just simply says no way. That is too much speed, and he understeers wide and almost collides with his new teammate there, Mo, in the RCZ. And Sock is hot on the heels. Lyly is definitely defending pretty hard here and wary of a dive bomb down the inside into SA corner. And then we've got a big wide sideways moment from Black Evo. Gives up the position. Does he to Brum? Not quite. They are going to go side by side as Black Evo does drop behind Brum with that little snap on the rear of the car in the very low grip middle sector of this racetrack. It's a very cold, very humid afternoon here at Interlagos, where we will expect to see the drivers head down into night conditions to finish the race. Perhaps not quite as far into the night as our G1 drivers did, but Zenith Specs up from the rear of the pack now, up to P12, having got past Monkey Games racing out of New Zealand. Out there, Monkey, as Rhino in P9, and we go forward to see Grant challenging here, trying to get the slipstream, but that M6 GT3, a bit of a slow car to get up to speed. I think its torque curve is somewhat flatter than the Lamborghini, certainly in front of it. We have Brum with the very highly favoured new Ferrari 296 in P5, working his way forward now. Perhaps qualifying not quite going his way, but getting a purple first sector as well, tucked up underneath the rather tall and chunky RCZ in front of him of Mo. Brum now having a look at a potential bid for fourth position. Brum starting on the soft tyres. Both Argentos start on the medium tyres. Lyly went for the softs, and Ian on the mediums as well. So Lyly starting to reel in his faster qualifying teammate right now, thanks I'm sure to the fact that he's got out of the traffic and he's got himself into a position that was very late from Brum there. He was somewhat behind the halfway point of the car, but Mo giving enough space so that things do not turn ugly between them, and holding on to the inside line, reclaiming that outside run out of Yun Sao is Mo. Clearly no stranger to defensive driving, but will the power of the 296 and the superior aerodynamics help Brum, especially with those soft tyres, to get up into P4 as he races forward? Of course, he needs to make use of these tyres and gain as many track positions as possible. As behind them, you've got Oscar going from a move on Black Evo. We'll just check another replay out of that, because I'm not sure whether that came through entirely cleanly. We will hope that it did. That was from a long way back here. Rhino braking earlier than the soft tyre shod car. Yeah, no, there was definitely contact between the two of them. I don't imagine Black Evo would appreciate that passing with contact, but we do tend to let a little bit of contact fly between drivers, as long as it doesn't result in damage, I think. But it's certainly damaging Black Evo's race prospects, because he's dropped one position and now he's closing the door on that BMW M6 of the Obsidian Racing Team's Grant in P8. Rhino on behind. So these three drivers pretty much have had problems here from the start, and are probably very much hoping that fortunes improve later on, as will, I'm sure, Pingslayer, who's dropped back from the grids ever so slightly. Lots of work to do for him. Ian and Lyly separated by, I would imagine, around 1.2 seconds. Sock in the middle of then the following pack who are coming behind. It is Brum, Mo in fourth, Brum in fifth. For now, anyway, looking like he's very impatiently looking for an opportunity. Oscar looking also to try and get back up the grid. As Mo runs out very wide out of Yun Sao. Surely now for Brum, this will be an easier opportunity into Curve 1, and he'll be feeling the need to get a hurry up, not just for his tyres, but for the fact that Oscar is looking very racy on soft tyres directly behind him. Brum doesn't necessarily know the tyre selection of Oscar behind him, but he'll have an idea with relative traction and grip through the corners. Unfortunately, a little bit late on the brakes there for Brum. Surely now, Oscar on the run out of Curva del Sol should have a chance here to get level with Brum on the long Reta Aposta and in towards Descida del Lago. It looks like Oscar's top speed not quite there with the Ferrari. And Brum holds on again, and typically for Brum, a big slide through the corner. Hanging on right now, but he's turning attack very much into defence here. And Oscar round the outside, an attempt here, perhaps a switchback coming, because an outside move around Laranjinha and Pinarino and Ferradura I have not seen pay off particularly well unless there is a huge tyre offset. The weather looks threatening, but we won't see any rain today. It is just dampening the airflow and dampening the driver's ability to grip the racetrack, as the temperatures will just get cooler and cooler now for the remainder of our race. So there's definitely going to be a challenge for everybody, and perhaps come towards the drivers who have chosen to use the softs later on. Lyly right in the wheel tracks of race leader Ian, and teammate of course with those Totoro teeth on the front end, reminiscent of course of the Rexy Roxy AO Racing USA team. But a straightforward change for the lead then. Lyly into the lead on those soft tyres. Team instruction, it looked like, or at least Ian playing the sensible team game there. It's only going to harm them both if they lose time overall, and the race should come to him later, all things being equal. But putting the team first there on his debut race, very impressive from Ian. We've got Sock and Mo third and fourth position, as Brum in the 296 almost wipes out our camera position in fifth, and he's just put a small gap then on Oscar and Black Evo a couple seconds further back, as is Grant in eighth, B-Bar in ninth, and then some close racing here. Lord Top Hat stuck between B-Bar in front and Zenith Specs 11th place, Obsidian M6 GT3 just behind him. Behind them we then have some similar colour scheme as well. It's almost it's almost a palindrome of positions here. with Zelen and Hector behind the Obsidian car. There we have it. So the McLaren, not the best in straight line, but incredibly nimble in this middle sector of the racetrack. The Porsche, a handful, but massively satisfying to drive, unless it's been bopped. The additional weight with the bop is quite unpopular. As is, it's the same situation with the Ferrari 296. It really deadens the car from its pure pace. But the middle pack here of Grant B-Bar, Lord Top Hat, Zenith Specs, very close together. Monkey Games not too far away to be concerned about losing any positions at this stage. Pinkslayer has I think found some pace down into the mid 134s now, so just the one sort of less than ideal lap. Lyly has the fastest lap of 32.6 out there for the PSV Racing sponsored Team Oro gold and black livery. The Argento cars are working in formation here. Sock on the mediums, as is Mo, so no real team instruction. Sock has team seniority, or at least league seniority. It's an all new team Argento. No kind of reputation to build on as such. Mo wanting to make a name for himself today, but not obviously at the expense of his and his teammates' races. Gets the car very neatly and tidily into Bico di Pato, but unfortunately Sock found a faster exit from the corner, so into Yonsal then. Lap 8 of the 31, approaching 1/3 distance. I would imagine that those soft tyres are getting past their best, but Brum's keeping them fairly well alive here in P5 and biding his time, it seems, at this stage. He was looking a lot more aggressive earlier on, but conscious that he needs to get those soft tyres through and try and make this as fewer pit stop races as possible. So targeting just over 1/3 distance, I would imagine. Big slide from Brum, big slide through curve 1. That is going to bring Oscar back into a battling position here potentially. Let's see the yellow headlit Lamborghini Huracan. But just in front, there's a bigger change happening right now. Mo down the inside on his teammate. Didn't look like Sock was fully moving aside there, but he was put on the outside of the corner, left the gap, I'm assuming. And then Brum with a very late dive to the inside, selling the dummy around the outside, but Sock saying very implacable there and unable to get through there for Brum. But Brum is staying very much awake to this. Both cars having their issues there. Sock being passed by his teammate and slightly hampered. Brum getting a little bit sideways through the start of the lap. The S does center at the start of the lap, but this Team Morado Ferrari looks one of the fastest cars standing still. So he'll be looming large in the mirrors of Sock. Not replete to just use the mirrors. Check out Oscar though, who's going to be trying to try and stick on the racing line, while both drivers in front of him are somewhat off that racing line. Possibly a hint of a flash of a lights there from one of the drivers on the way through Yun Sao, but actually they even themselves out quite considerably. No boost or DRS or fake gimmicks here on the GT3 cars. Of course, it is all about managing your performance and obviously how the car is behaving with fuel and tyres. There is a big incentive to save fuel because the stationary time is quite considerable per litre standing still in the pit lane. There's a big cost for that if you can save any time. Looks like Oscar in the Lamborghini going for the move down the inside into the Decido del Lago. He gets the apex. Brum keeps the speed around the outside and holds on to the position, but both cars of course getting further away from Sock's 4th position while they battle like this, and Black Evo gets the best seat in the house to watch them both. Brum staying roughly in the middle of the road, trying not to give up a very clear gap to the inside, but of course that's going to be the slower route when thinking about the car in front and of course Black Evo in the chase behind. It would really help Brum if Black Evo would make the overtake, but clearly Oscar is hot to trot today. Lyly still leads from Ian and Mo, and then we watch this battle that was over 4th place is now I think over 5th place. And there is Black Evo just getting the hurry up. His medium tyres just getting to the position where they're probably feeling slightly better than the soft tyre pairing directly in front of him. And it's lap 10 coming to an end here of the 31. So we are definitely on the soft tyres into one-stop territory here at G2. And there is Black Evo chasing down. Let's switch out the camera position slightly so we can get a slightly different view of all of this, as if we were a passenger over the shoulder of the Team Morado Black Evo SVR veteran here. And hard on the power. No move coming on his teammate in front. And at the moment, Black Evo doing a good job of making sure that Oscar is spending plenty of his mental energy looking in his mirrors and wondering where Black Evo currently is. You can see the lights shining a little bit brighter now. Keep an eye out for those glowing brake discs as we get into the night conditions, but at the moment Black Evo certainly featuring large in the factors here for the chase into P6. Behind him you've got Grant in the Hector Motorsports Porsche. Sorry, no, in the Obsidian BMW GT3. I saw a sort of purpley flash there. Behind them, we've got B-Bar in 9th. We've got Lord Top Hat in 10th, followed by Zenith and Monkey, 11th and 12th positions. Rhino down in P13, still on those starting medium tyres. It looks like we've avoided damage for most drivers here. A little bit of damage on the front splitter for Lyly, as it looked, I think, like Lyly has pitted from the lead of the race off those soft tyres on his end of his lap 12, and his teammate Ian retakes the lead of the race then on this point with that pit stop. Ian with only 900 miles on his odometer, so still lots of learning and a big, I would imagine, a big improvement curve coming. It's not unusual to see many thousands of miles on the drivers' odometers, especially once we get into the midpoint of the season. Speaking of, Mo with 57 miles on the clock here hasn't done much in the way of practice in this machine, so that really underlines a very impressive start for Mo. And we've got Brum out there. There you go, a bit more like it. 1,200 miles on Brum's odometer on the 296, and I know he's probably got four of the 296 cars as well. not usually happy with just one car. Keeps one for best, and then different ones for different liveries, because he's filthy rich in game. Oscar in P5, and Black Evo in P6 as they continue then this great midfield battle, knocking on the door of the podium. Don't forget that lyly is still net leading this race. We will see if he can perform the undercut here, or at least maintain the lead of the race. You just got a first glowing disc brake, and Brum is definitely struggling with the car through Curve 1 and into the Estel Senna. I think everything sort of improves throughout the rest of the lap, but that sector of the racetrack, that early sector, seems to be the biggest problem for Brum in terms of the handling at the moment. Running a little bit wide at Interlagos. Hopefully that's not a penalty for him. We'll see in a moment. No, he got away with it, staying on the first section of the curb with the inside tyre. And there's Oscar trying to find an open gap or force the issue possibly down into SA corner, and there goes Oscar into P4 ahead of Sock. Sock now playing defensive because it's just how things work with closed wheel tin top racing. Once you lose one position in a pack, you've lost your momentum, and drivers just queue up to make the pass. Black Evo looking again, as I said before, to try and climb up those positions, make up for a problematic first stint. Oh, that's wide from Oscar out on the dirt. How much is that going to hurt Oscar? We'll ride on board with Sock and see on that situation whether he's got the momentum advantage. There is a pit stop looming. That's for Brum, who was also on those soft tyres and was clearly struggling into the first corner. The car in front of us, Oscar, has those soft tyres on as well, but is going later than both lyly and Brum. So that's important for our race later on. I want to just check out whether lyly has been able to avoid traffic coming out of his pit stop, because that will absolutely hurt his bid to try and maintain the lead of the race. Here comes Black Evo and Sock with a late or perfectly timed block to the inside. I'm not entirely sure. It was difficult to read with the camera angle involved. lyly has emerged outside of the traffic predicament, outside of 11th, between Rhino and Pinkslayer, where Brum is hoping to emerge as well, and will do in clear air, I think, here. So Brum coming out of the pits right now. Pinkslayer providing that gap between 11th and now 14th place. And Ian, for the first time, Ian's starting to look a little on the vulnerable side, as Mo, on the medium tyres, as both Argentos have started the race, is moving forward. A 33.1 that last lap. Mo getting faster here as his mileage increases on the car. Ian dropping a 34.0, so a big 9/10 of a second delta between the two cars on that previous lap 13. How is it looking now as they cross the line? That's a 33.7 for Mo, and a 33.7, absolutely equal between the two. So Ian getting the hurry up and trying to deal with the fact that Mo is on his heels here. The gap just outside of about a second, I would estimate. Let's have a look then. There's a bit more action happening between 3rd, 4th, 5th here of Oscar, Black Evo and Sock. I'm expecting Oscar in the pit lane. We're actually nearing half distance here on these soft tyres. You do want to get into the pits the moment they start complaining on you. Don't wait for an extra lap to confirm that you're going to be in trouble, because the trouble will start and breed and brew very, very quickly on those soft tyres. You really get very little warning. And I think 15 laps is a very healthy stint length on the soft tyres, given our race length, and the fact that you start on a full tank of fuel as well. So there will be a need for a small top off on Oscar's car in terms of the fuel, and some cars will use a lot less fuel than others. The RCZ is one of the most economical cars. The Porsche perhaps less so. And we'll see what the drivers decide to do. Both the leaders stay out at this stage. It looks like Oscar's looking quite tight there to the left-hand side of the car. Flashing the lights on the way through. He stays out again. He's not unhappy with the handling, despite circulating in the late 1 minute 34s right now. And the car behind, Black Evo, put in a 34.0, 7 to 8 tenths of a second faster than Oscar. And you'd think that Oscar would be able to read the road there to a certain extent and see just how much the laughing Joker helmet of Black Evo is closing in on an opportunity. The right-hand blinker on, I think that's inadvertent from Oscar, because our VR drivers can't see when their blinkers are on unless they happen to have a supplementary display in the cockpit. So we will often see that. Usually a left-hand blinker would indicate that the driver is headed towards pit road and not to overtake on the inside, but very easy to click the wrong button and end up, especially if you're racing with controller rather than wheel. Oh, big slide from Black Evo. Really got into it too much there. I think we probably want to have a replay of that moment because that looked good. Coming up through the left-hander Pinerino towards Bico di Pato, and it is a curved braking zone, Bico di Pato. Check out the slide. Unfortunately, we touched the grass, so we don't get any style points for that, but good save. Unfortunately, losing ground, and that's just the lesson in getting too close to the car in front at the wrong point on the circuit. Something that Black Evo, I'm sure, will store in his racing memory box. Oscar getting low on the grip on the soft tyres. He still feels, I'm sure, that there is enough life in these, but that very much looks like a driver headed towards pit road. It is. The Lamborghini Azul racing driver, Oscar, heads towards the pit lane, and he will take tyres now and a little bit of fuel and get himself safely home through just the second half of the race. Sock straight into the back of Black Evo, but I think both drivers avoiding damage there. The feeling right now in Black Evo's Ferrari 296 might be that the car is not behaving for him, and obviously the pit window for the soft tyres must be open now. But question is, when do you give up the mediums and decide that the softs will be safe to get home on? Surely, even now, this reminds me of my old F1 League racing days, where the soft and medium tyre one-stop option was occurring pretty much on the same lap, at almost exactly the halfway point of races. Just the way that everything's worked out today here at Interlagos. It's B-Bar in P6 behind Grant in P5, Lord Top Hat in 7th. Remember, these drivers have not pitted or started on the medium tyres and only really have the available option of switching to the softs. The hards are completely useless around Interlagos with these wear settings. A message there on the back to breast cancer, in support of people suffering with breast cancer from Zenith Specs. Classy move from a classy driver there for the Obsidian Racing Team colour scheme, who clearly needs some sponsors. If you are watching and you own a business or connected to a business that would value their name exposure many times every race for the next 11 rounds of a racing season, then do get in touch with SVR at svr-racing.com. Here comes lyly on his new tyres, has caught Zenith Specs. This is not really a battle for position, although Zenith might take a different view of that. He's just on the very end of his run, and lyly, who was leading the race, putting in low minute 1:33 laps, which his fastest is a 32.4, so it's not far from his fastest lap here now on the medium tyres that he set on the soft tyres. And this is perhaps, well, I was going to say a good opportunity to go down the inside. Zenith Specs leaving the apex open there, and not fighting too hard. There would have been a small amount of delay for lyly, but he's through. And the important gap now is what is happening between himself and Ian, and we will wait to see when Ian decides to pit. The mediums will run for another few laps. The front right seems to be the limited tyre on the M6 GT3 at least. Rhino's in 11th, and still on those starting tyres, protecting the fronts more there because of the weight of the Porsche is on the rear axle with the engine, and as the race and stint moves on, the weight comes off the front of the car. So the Porsche rear-wheel drive rear engine gets more and more oversteery through a stint. I don't know if the drivers are planning to set those cars up for understeer or not. Here is Brum in the 12th position at the moment, trying to follow, I think, lyly's progress through the field, but I think a gap opening between himself and lyly that is possibly a little larger than it was at the start of proceedings. Oscar, still with that blinker on, still flashing the lights. I would imagine this means that for Oscar, he's got he's using controller rather than a wheel, or he's keybound something to be the light flash. Pinkslayer in 14th for Azul. So currently, but I don't think this will last, Team Azul, both 13th and 14th positions. Here is Ian. He's managed to open a small gap with a better last three laps there. Low 34s, high 33s for Ian. And that is, on average, slightly better than Mo has been in the last few laps. It's lap 19 of the 31. Still, the sun has not really started setting properly. In the G1 race, we saw them race all the way into late evening in Sim. Black Evo in third, has Sock chasing him down, and both on those medium tyres. Just waiting now for the medium tyre stint to be over. I would imagine that any teams who have split the strategies, there you go for Black Evo. He pits now. As I say, any teams that have split the strategy, they will have the information from their teammate who started on the softs to say the softs were golden all the way to lap 16 or even 15 if you're really pushing, and then you just deduct that from the race progress so far. You can see that there are 11 complete laps plus the one that they're on left to run. It's Ian still leading the race. Lord Top Hat has quietly and carefully got himself through up to P5 here. Hasn't pitted in the McLaren, and is very much on his own at the moment. So no sort of worries for him. His teammate Monkey Games, good progress through the race as well. He now has lyly closing in, and this will be a fairly exaggerated difference between the two cars in Monkey's mind as he looks in the mirrors. But hopefully he'll be aware enough, thanks to Hector and his engineer, that lyly is on a different strategy, was leading the race. I wonder how that Porsche looks from the perspective of the car in front, looking in their mirrors. It's very good with the red eyes as well. Look at this. That is a very nice effect. So hats off. Ian and Mo at the lead of the race now pit for Oro and Argento respectively. So that's a good moment for the race. Here comes the Porsche Team Oro car up the inside of Monkey, so making the pass on the traction there. As I said before, Monkey not fighting it too hard. Monkey on his way in as well. Looks like it is pit stop o'clock for our medium starters now. lyly back to third position, and for now at least has overtaken his teammate. His teammate is currently in the pit lane exit and has been leapfrogged by Mo in the pits, and I think that's down to the fuel economy difference between the two cars. I think that the RCZ stationary for just a short period less than the Porsche, because they've have had to refill by less, and therefore also need to use less towards the end of the race. So Mo ahead. lyly holds on to the net lead of the race. In fact, has extended his lead as it was before the pit stop. lyly currently in P3 with drivers who have not pitted, the only ones in front of him. So they will now pit very soon with 10 to go here. And he will re-inherit the lead of the race. But Mo, the big mover in those pit stop sequences, he's up to second place now, and Ian with work to do, who led the race from pole and yielded position to his teammate, Will he regret that, I wonder, or will he be in a great position at the end of the race? First, though, he's going to have to overcome the car in front, who is also on the soft tyres. So lots of frantic thoughts and decisions to make here for Ian and his engineering team if they want to get a team 1-2, as it was looking very hot earlier on as an opportunity. B-Bar, Lord Top Hat in the pits, the last of our pitters in the top half of the field, and I think that is, yeah, Pinkslayer has yet to pit as well. He's just picked up a 5-second penalty. That's really, really painful. But lyly leads the race. Mo's in second, and Ian not getting those tyres up to temperature very quickly. That could be a calculated choice, though. Ian there with the Nigel Mansell era helmet on, so he gets points from me in a style decision from that. Not many people know that the red 5 in my game tag is a reference to Mansell's red 5 92-93 racing seasons. Yeah, definitely enjoy that, and our newcomer to the grid, Nigel Mansell, as well. So I imagine all three of us are a fairly similar vintage, or just very big fans of F1 on history. Who knows? lyly P1, Mo P2, Ian P3, Brum now P4, and some distance from the provisional podium here, which looks like it's going to be fought between Team Argento and Team Oro, or Totoro, with Sock in P5. I'm going to catch all kinds of hell for my pronunciation, aren't I, of an anime. So I'm going to quit while I'm behind here. Personal best time here for Sock on the soft tyres. Let's see if he carries that pace throughout. The helicopter flying low underneath the cloud level. I think someone, possibly our host, did not set the time elapse to go into the evening. I did get a couple complaints live during the G1 that I didn't adjust the light exposure, but so that we could see the cars at night. Here's Black Evo in the pits now. Came off the medium tyres. One of the last drivers to do so. He and Pinkslayer, I think, as B-Bar goes past. So does Oscar. But it doesn't look like it's getting dark. The headlights are not on throughout the grid, or at least not obviously on throughout the grid. B-Bar chasing down Oscar here. So did Sock get that personal best? No, he didn't. I think he did, but it isn't lighting up. The fastest lap so far, lyly 32.4, set in the opening laps. lyly out there as B-Bar chases down Oscar here for P6. And behind them, you can just make out the BMW of Grant's Obsidian Racing Team car. The 143 there. So, let me know what you think of everybody's liveries so far. For me, my personal taste, it's only my opinion, is that the Obsidian is a little bit too brightly coloured on the nose, and I can't make out any kind of galaxy star system pattern on the rear as I thought was the intention. I'm very grateful for the Webocom sticker on the sill there as well, but we definitely need some sponsors for Team Obsidian as far as I'm concerned. So drop your brand name suggestions in the comments, or tag your favorite brand name in the comments as well, and try and get their attention for a new sponsor. As Team Zelen has a beautiful green-black fade with the former Brocarga colour scheme. Brocarga just sponsoring one division this season, but they have an affiliation with sister teams in the lower divisions here, much like the F1 teams do in the F1 Academy. Monkey Games is in P10, and we've got the Obsidian of Zenith. What is happening with Black Evo? He has been in the pits for a very long time, has he? The fuel hasn't gone in. I think Black Evo may have needed to retire the car. This is big drama for the 46. The fuel bowser has not engaged. I wonder if there is a problem on the Black Evo car sitting in the pit lane at the moment. Sometimes there are issues around the driver's cockpit or equipment problems, but I don't often see cars just sitting in the pit lane. So we will see. However, not sitting still either is Mo versus lyly. Mo has been absolutely fantastic after the pit stop and during the pit stop, let's face it. as he goes side by side with lyly for the lead of the race. Lyly's on the inside, is slightly behind on the route into curve 1. Can he make the move stick for Mo? That is wide from lyly, but he's leaving the space, expecting the space to be left in turn back for him. He has lost out the position. That has gone the way of Mo. So Mo down a position, Mo up a position, lyly down into second position, and he's got his teammate Ian not far behind. So that is the new soft tyres versus the used mediums. There, lyly will just hope to stay, I think, with Mo until the end of the race and perhaps be able to have a grip advantage over the car in front. But that's a big moment for the lead as Mo takes the lead now. He's sat back throughout the course of this race, and for the first time on lap 25 of 31, Mo is in the lead of the race with Argento, and the first non-Oro team driver to lead our race. Fantastic. Mo out there on his debut here with us, as is Ian and Grant and Oscar. So take nothing away from those drivers at all. But Mo now in the lead of the race. Lyly will see his teammate's car looming. Would lyly be better served here, allowing Ian with the soft tyres to keep Mo occupied while the tyres wear off? But then it's a very tricky conversation to have with your engineer to try and make a pass later on. So it's all furiously negotiating there in the in the cockpit. And yes, we do absolutely have a problem there for Black Evo, who has now dropped, I imagine, down to last position, stuck in the pit lane. First time, as I say, I have seen that, and then he rejoins again. I think there is a disconnection issue or a lag issue with the server. I think Black Evo might still be circulating in actuality, but his transponder and car image are stuck in the pit lane. He's still reading as P8, or is he dropping down now? He's just picked up the fastest lap of the race, Black Evo, at 32.460. What on earth is happening here for Evo? We will see when the results come out at the end of the race. But yeah, big drama for Team Morado. Meanwhile, Ian is, where is he? It's a 34.0 last lap for Mo, which didn't include the overtake. So, he was slow on that previous lap, Mo. Has he taken too much out of the tyres and tank of fuel? It doesn't look like it. Looks like he's in a good spot right now to potentially take the win here today. There you can see Ian well off the brakes through the apex of Yun Sao, able to get on the power nice and early. And all of a sudden, lyly dropping back slightly. Lyly on those medium tyres has gone much further back, 35.2 for lyly. I think we perhaps need to just go see that again, exactly what happened between the two of them. Did lyly fall off the racetrack, or did he release his teammate? Let's have a look as we come back to see. Here it is. We did see lyly wide into curve 1. He was in second position here. Yeah, there it is. Just a very straightforward release from his teammate. So just letting him go through. No drama again. Very cordial teammate relationships already for the Team Oro car. As Ian on the soft tyres released from that medium tyre blocker, and he's now off in pursuit of a potential win with just 4 racing laps left to run. Personal best this time for me, and a 32.9 that last lap, 32.7 the previous one. He can be quicker, but he's not entirely quicker than Mo. It's back and forth between the two of them. Pinkslayer is at the rear of the grid. I'm just looking to see where Black Evo is. Still reading as in 13th place, but he showed up in P6 for a few moments. And there is Pinkslayer getting the blue flags to be lapped on this debut race for Team Azul. But those blue flags are very generous to the leader at this stage, you have to say. So fairly even gaps there between the drivers. Here we've got a good strong battle. It's Sock in 5th versus Brum in 4th place. Both drivers on the soft tyre. Looks like the race has come to the drivers who chose the mediums at the start of this race and who can run the softs on the lighter fuel tank. There's always a more comfortable transition for drivers to go from a harder compound to a softer compound in the pits. Much more difficult the other way, to go to a lower grip position. But Sock slips off the circuit there for a moment, unfortunately. This was out of Magulo, slippery exit, and unfortunately then you're kind of forced into driving as slowly as possible to get the car back on the racetrack. That is going to make Brum feel a lot more comfortable, but I'm sure he is less than comfortable about what is happening to his teammate Black Evo, still in that pit lane at the moment. Brum out there. Now, sometimes drivers will do this to protect the stability of the server. If they have to step away, sometimes they will go in the pits and not go onto auto drive mode or quit out entirely. Could be that Black Evo was the host and therefore had to leave things running like that. Anyway, Sock in 5th, excuse me, and B-Bar in 6th place. Looks like we've got some good close battles still on the racetrack. Grant's in 7th. Here is Lord Top Hat in P8. The furthest forward Team Zelen car, because his teammate is stuck behind Oscar at the moment. Oscar was one of the last to stop, but he's on medium tyres at this late stage of our race, lap 28 of the 31, and Monkey currently chasing him down and looking for that window, for that gap to open. Oscar with that right hand blinker still on, and behind them there is also a close battle going on between Zenith and Rhino. Not sure who to watch here, who's going to be first to go for the move. Looks like Zenith on the softs, and Rhino on the newer softs. So a pretty straight fight here between great automotive rivals BMW and Porsche. As coming to approach the final braking zone of the racetrack, it is into Yonsao, the junction. I think that represents the junction of the old Interlagos track and the new Interlagos track, but I can't be entirely certain. That is a very tidy overtake from Rhino, excuse me, on Zenith. So have a look at where Monkey and Oscar are currently, starting their lap 29. And Monkey not able to find a way by just yet. It's a good opportunity then to just check in on the leaders who have passed. I think Mo has passed Pinkslayer. Ian, likewise. Ian can still see the Argento car. There is still a small amount of pressure on Mo here, but it's not sufficient really to force an error. Still be wary, will Mo, and he might be starting to feel jittery as the race draws to a conclusion. Hasn't had a lot of time here in the lead. I don't imagine it's the first race ever that he's led, but it's certainly the first of the VR Sim Racing World Championship race that he has led, and that does pile on an additional amount of pressure. Ian following is in a similar situation, but generally speaking, the hunting car is not feeling pressure because they feel they've got something to gain, whereas the leader's mind can be full of what they stand to lose from their current position, and they're telling themselves what not to do. So it's a fascinating moment here in the mindsets of the respective drivers. Mo in the lead on the penultimate lap of the race, ahead of Ian, who was the pole sitter in the qualifying session here for the first round of the G2 Championship. Lyly, I think, might be now starting to mentally resign to a podium. I don't know if that will represent for him a positive result. I think it will. It's hard to be negative about a podium. Brum looking very quick and put together out there. I'll say no more, otherwise I'll be accused of cursing. Honestly, if Danhausen had the curse ability of commentators, I think he'd be very happy. Personality. Ian in P2 and Mo out there leading our race as the penultimate lap comes to a close. That was a squeaky moment for Mo, with 2 tyres out on the grass, 2 tyres on the curb through Yonsao. That's a moment where you tell yourself, okay, I've lost a life, I'm still here, don't do it again. As the soft tyres are running low, The fuel is running lowish as well, but I think in the RCZ all will be well. There is slightly more in the Porsche. Will Ian be remonstrating with himself when he watches this back and sees the relative fuel amounts? Did he stay in the pits just half a second too long? Was he too safe with his pit stop choice? Would Mo have got him anyway? Very, very difficult question to answer, and we will only find that out in the remaining 11 races of the season, of course, to see who becomes the G2 champion for 2026. Brum in 4th, Sock in 5th, B-Bar in 6th, Grant in 7th, Lord Top Hat. We're registering Black Evo in 9th. I have no idea. Monkey Games in 10th, followed by Rhino, Oscar, Zenith, Pingslayer. But back to the lead of the race as they are heading past the halfway point on this final lap of the race. So Mo will be thinking to himself, braking zone, apex, good exit. Braking zone, apex, good exit, and we're done. So we're heading into Mergulio now. Full throttle still through Mergulio on this final lap of the race in the RCZ on those soft tyres that have held up well. Powering out of the of Yonsal we go. There is little to do but point the steering wheel for Mo as he comes through on this first round of the 2026 G2 VR Sim Racing World Championship, and he's going to win the race, win in Interlagos for Mo out there on his first race. Ian with a fantastic P2 as well in the Oro, and a 2-3 for Team Oro for lyly, then bringing the Porsche home. Pingslayer crosses the line at the back of the grid, and we wait for Brum for the sight of that Team Murado Ferrari 296 to come through that final corner, and across the line for Brum, a P4 to start the season. Sock will come home in 5th, not far ahead of B-Bar, and we will see Grant's Obsidian M6 cross the line in P8. We've got Lord Top Hat in 9th. And for Zelen, representing a 9-10 result for Team Zelen. I'm not sure whether they'll be satisfied with that, but it's better than nothing. And we've got Rhino in 11th, Oscar home in 12th, and Zenith, the last of the runners on the lead lap. I don't see where did Black Evo register. He's registering as 5th. I will have a look. It looks like he did get 5th in the end there. Black Evo Murado 4-5 in the overall provisional result. Have a look at the race calendar and the race results if you want to see any steward decisions post-race or any penalties given out on svr-racing.com, where you can find out lots more about our great league here. My name is Webbo. You can find me at Webbo Red 5 on most platforms, but especially YouTube. Please make sure today that you hit something positive under the video, and we thank you very much for watching. We will see you very soon for more racing when we catch you on the next race day.